Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Inspire Esports GG. My name is Ginote. I'm here with Zim and our producer Temperance. We got another exciting matchup for you this tonight. We have the Washington Washers coming off a very close loss last week, 3-1 against the Ringahs, who have yet to play in this tournament. They do have their week one match scheduled to be played in mid-October, so we have no idea what we're going to see from them yet. Zim, what's your take on this matchup?
Given that ringers always run a whole lot of ringers, as the name suggests, I expect Washers to be a lot more coordinated and have a slight advantage going into the match, because I don't know how mechanically skilled the ringers are, but after talking with a bunch of the Washers players and seeing their game last week, I feel like they are in a good place to take this map.
Yeah, it was extremely close, and the Washers do have a lot of synergy. A lot of those players coming from Owlet, a lot of them former Crusaders members, which was my team as well. Whereas Ringas, we haven't seen them yet, but maybe that extra week gave them some more scrim time to build some synergy. It looks like we are, getting set to get underway here. We do have Lijiang Tower as our first map. Uh, we did see quite a bit from Washers in their last match. Hyper Knight and Clutch Caliber with that, double main tank strategy. Do you think that we're going to see a lot of that tonight, or are they going to switch it up?
Given that they're running Clutch and Hyper Knight at the same time again, I do expect to see some Monkey Winston on some maps, like probably Gardens, we can expect to see it with a super fast-paced comp. We might also see another double maintain comp on either Control Center or Market with Larissa Ryan or something like that, just to cover a very small, kind of condensed area. But I'm actually kind of curious to see if they run any off-tanks during this time.
Yeah, they do have PT Hanley on the bench, known for his really flashy diva play in Owlet. But Clutch Caliber, known for that Sigma from 3.5 when we did, win the entire season. So could see a lot of looks coming out from Washers in this matchup. And we are underway here. I'm going to see what, initial looks we're going to get from these teams in just a couple seconds when the hero pool unlocks.
Ready for battle.
So it looks like we got a Rhine Sig coming out from the Ringahs and a Rhine Czar coming out from the, I almost said Crusaders, but the Washers. But kind of interested to see why Hyper Knight's on the Zarya and Clutch is on the Rhine, but knowing how both of them can play Rhine very well, kind of curious to see how it goes.
Yeah, both of them do have that Rhine in their pocket. I guess they decided to, go towards a more traditional comp with Hyper Knight on that Zarya. Both teams do take the teleporters and get right into the brawl here. Jackson Moon is able to find Yellow Shello for the first kill, and that is a lot of Crusaders Washers falling here as they get pushed right back into spawn by the Ringahs.
Yeah, and that's one major downside of running Zarya over Secret Diva. If you waste your bubbles or you don't kill something immediately, the other team's instantly gonna out-sustain you or out-brawl you, as we saw there. They just folded over as soon as they got a single push.
Yeah, Hyper Knight did immediately switch to the Diva here, so going to be using that Matrix to keep a lot of that spam away. They are able to push their way into the little server room area here. Window and wall come out from Ringahs. The whole house pushing Washers back towards their spawn. They look to not want to engage on that, probably just going to wait it out here, a bit of a soft reset. They are pushing yet again towards the point here. Window comes out from Tekio. Not seeing a whole lot of damage coming out from it though. They are Ringahs are able to kite around it. Shinx with the Riptire coming in here as Dread pulls out the Flux. Both ultimates combined for 3 kills. Fight able to trade out for Shinx, but it's looking like this is going to be another clean fight win for Ringahs.
It appears so. But out of all of the ults from that fight coming out, the only one that actually really got anything done was that 6 Flux from Dread. as the two initials they used, Window and Simwall, even though they're nearly back already, really just forced watchers to back. And then the window from Tekio didn't really, open things up for the watchers as they were expecting.
Riptide coming up from fight here. The Earth Shatter as well, they are able to get a couple of kills here, and that is going to be them pushing on this advantage here. Just things left with that Junkrat here. They are not able to get any picks to try and make it a better fight for the next after the flip here.
Yeah. It's a good thing that the watchers finally flipped the point, as this is one of the maps where you kind of expect it to go to 99, 100, or just... It's very difficult to take back the point once you cap, or once you let it get capped.
Window coming out from Tekio here. Clutch Caliber able to grab Jackson Moon with the Fire Strike, and that is Ringahs immediately S-keying back into their spawn. Dread going off the map rather than giving the ult charge to the team here. It's going to be a good fight win here for Washington as they try to build up that percentage.
Yeah, much better window that fight to just pop it early, go for a pick, they got it, force them out. Can't be whoa.
A beat and the Riptide are coming out here, not catching anybody. Newbie popping that Reaper and getting both supports. Hyper Knight able to get his counterpart in Dread, and that is going to be Ringahs losing yet another fight and going back to spawn.
Yeah, it's a very difficult point to push, but you gotta be a little bit more careful with ults. Tire coming out, one of your most important ults to swing fights. Didn't get anything because they just popped in one beat, but still left.
Flux comes out, the fight is behind them with the tire. Does catch laser. The Flux not able to get anybody. Newbie able to get Jackson Moon. Dread trades it out, but Clutch Caliber gets two with the Fire Strike through Tekio's window. Looks like Washington's going to be able to hold this point. Another fight here, almost last fight territory here for Ringahs.
Yeah, with a couple ults coming out or available for Ringahs, they have a chance, but it's gonna be hard.
Hyper Knight got stunned out of the Flux. The fight is able to get laser. The Earthshatter does get a couple, but no one able to follow up on it. Omni getting fight off the side of the map here. Dread able to kill McDoobies. No DPS on the side for Washington. Tekio was able to get Jackson Moon though, and the beat comes out from Yellow Cello, able to keep them up. Jinx pulls out the Riptire and gets three. It is massive. Laser has the Deadeye up, but it's only Yellow Cello left on the point, and that is going to be the flip here.
Major mistake coming out from Watchers. Maybe they didn't realize the Junkrat was still on their team. But at this point, what looks like a surefire round win for him is very nearly guaranteed to be a loss.
McDoobie does get taken out by Shinx, but fight able to trade it out. He is right in the middle of their team here. Laser able to find Tekio. Flux comes out from Dread. All's coming out from both sides here. But it is looking like it is going to be Ringahs with the team fight win and this first round. Just McDoobie left here. He's able to get back and keep the overtime going, but he's not long for life.
Yeah, I'm a little bit unsure why the Watchers ran out to start the map with Reinzar. Just kind of puts them at a disadvantage, but close round goes to the, the Ringahs, and yeah, we'll see if they stick with the same strategies for this map.
Yeah, it could just be, them trying to, catch him off guard since, everyone knows that they are, double main tank. And maybe just not sure what Ringahs we're going to come out with, since, they haven't played yet in this tournament. But it definitely didn't work, and Hyper Knight was switching almost every fight until Washers actually won a fight.
Looks like the Watchers are rocking on a Ball Diva copier, while the Ringahs are rocking out with your standard 6-man comp. Monkey, Diva, Reaper, Sombra, and Warrior Lucio.
Yeah, they do start pushing in there. Do get knocked around by Hyper Knight's ball. Shinx is able to find Yellow Cello in the backline. Clutch Caliber trading out Jackson Moon though. So it is a 5v5 here for both teams. And it looks like Ringahs are, doing a little bit of a soft reset here. Hyper Knight just barely missed. Does actually get Twist off the map. Does trade out. But it is could be an early cap here from Washers as McNewby finds Omni in the back line. Yellow Cello coming back from spawn as well, so it looks like this is going to be Ringahs backing up and getting that reset.
Yeah, it looked like they had at least an advantage or at least an equal fight when their main tank Jackson Moon dropped, but they were playing really slow into a very spammy comp. They're putting themselves at a disadvantage every fight.
Oh, and Hyper Knight is able to get 2 with the Wrecking Ball here, and that is going to be another fight win for Washers as the rest of Ringahs just going right back to spawn.
I have even more questions for the Ringahs now, as they have plenty of movement abilities to avoid getting moved off the map with this comp too, or they have at least ways to make themselves invulnerable to it. So it's kind of weird that they fall for that boop not once but twice.
Mines come out from Hyper Knight here. Doesn't look like it caught anybody yet, but Yellow Cello is able to get Omni. Dread does take out Hyper Knight himself, but McNewby and Yellow Cello able to get a few more kills, and that's Dread just jumping into the mines to reset that Baby Diva. Tracer going after Yellow Cello here, but they're just going to recall back, and it's going to be another fight win for Washington Washers, and they're over 70% here now.
Yeah. Ringahs are really approaching desperate territory, so they're going to need to get a massive EMP or a lot of good ults here to swing momentum, but this is a much easier point to cap back to begin with, so they're going to really have to struggle to win this.
Ooh. And the EMP does come in, it finds Yellow Cello before they're able to get that Transcendence off. Coalescence coming in as well to finish off people, and that was a pretty massive EMP fight win here, but it is still being stalled out by Hyper Knight. Does get hacked up and taken out, and that is, it looks like Washers is just going to reset here.
Making the right call, not giving them any more ult charge after the fight loss, but Washers are in a very good spot to retake now, because they almost have mines again. They have Bomb, Copy, and what's it called? Trance. All 3 of those ults are fight defining, so it's going to be very difficult for the Ringahs to defend this point anymore.
They do have all the ults on their side, and the bomb comes in, not able to find anybody there. Just pushes Ringahs back towards that offsides there. They are able to get the kill onto Hyper Knight there. Got hacked out of that ball form. Looks like they are going to be hitting that reset button. But Ringahs not content to really let them get away for free. They do invest the Primal Rage, but then they jump back out of it. Looks like they are going to respect that respawn here.
I'm just curious about the Primal Rage. They already won the fight, but chasing kills is only going to get people on your team killed, or maybe by a couple more percent at best. Putting themselves at a disadvantage for this fight with it.
McNewby hits the copy on the Sombra, and it does get forward with the EMP, but Shinx catches forward with the EMP. Kills going out of both sides here. Both supports down for Washers. With a lot of damage and healing missing on the side of Ringahs as well. Clutch Caliber loses the mech, and they get the Baby Diva. Jackson Moon does come back to the fight here, and it looks like it is going to be another fight win here. Trance invested by Yellow Cello. Looks like they are going to keep pushing on it here. They do have Shinx in the corner, but they are able to translocate out. Ults coming out from both sides here. Twists with the Coalescence. Omni goes off the map by himself. Yellow able to get Jackson Moon. The EMP comes out, catches 3, and Fight is not able to get out of there. Kills going both ways here. Clutch Caliber with the bomb going in, doesn't catch anybody. They do get Dread, and that is going to be the flip here. Omni comes back to touch and push it into overtime, but they are not really doing a whole lot. Yellow Cello takes them out. Shinx able to find Hyper Knight, Fight with the pulse onto Twist. It is just a couple members of both teams left here. The Tracer and the Tracer going down. Shinx had to translocate out with just a couple of HP. Dread spinning around on the point with the ball, but Fight able to get them. Chekio comes back on the Mercy, gets the res onto McNewby, and that is going to be round 2 going for the Washers.
Quite a chaotic fight to end it there, but I was very surprised by the Washers' choice to keep fighting in that seemingly lost fight, to pop both support ults to go for it. Because even though they had respawns, they had a clear chance to fully regroup and not need to worry about perhaps not getting one of the supports there in time to keep their tanks alive, but sometimes it's better to be lucky and good, and they managed to win that fight and swing the entire round off it.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to be seeing that double main tank here from not just Washers, but from Ringahs as well. Maybe looking to get that mirror matchup. But we do have McNewbie on the Doomfist yet again. Laser switching to that too, so it is going to be the straight mirror.
Interesting to see the Winston Ryan coming out, but it's going to be a whole lot of crawling and not much shooting in this comp.
Teleporter comes out and both Ryans get the pins. Hyper Knight is the one that goes down. McNewbie able to trade out for Omni though, but does give their life for it. Fight able to find Laser, so it is still an even fight. Jackson Moon does fight himself and starts swinging things back here. Dread able to find Yellow Shell, and it is just Clutch Caliber and Techio left against quite a few members. Hyper Knight coming back on the ball, able to find Twist. So it's not over yet, but however, members going down on both teams here. Looks like it is just going to be Hyper Knight left here trying to stall things out and keep them from capping, but that cap comes through and he dies.
Yeah, and Washers, knowing that it's very difficult to cap the point once you lose it on Brawl, rightfully so I would say, swap to the Ball Diva comp once more to try to spam them out.
Ooh, and McNewbie able to get a good kill on the Laser here. Yellow Cello finding Shinx as well. Hyper Knight going in with that ball, getting a lot of that adaptive shielding. Not able to catch anybody with that roll there, but Clutch Caliber is able to get Twist. Jackson Moon finds Hyper Knight, but it's traded out by McNewbie. So this is just going to be the Lucio stalling out here. But they are killed as well as Dread. That's going to be a pretty fast flip here for Washington Washers.
It's a fast flip, but I expect another fast flip next play as that's just a whole lot of ults ready to be available. It's just like, I looked over to the other comp and just saw Primal, Shatter, Wall. This is going to be a very difficult fight for the Washers to defend.
The wall comes out and they are able to get Yellow Shell and fight right away. Shatter able to find a couple, and that is a lot of members down here. Just Hyper Knight and the Baby Diva. They do get booped off, so it is just Hyper Knight stalling it out and not able to last very long. And yeah, like you said, a quick flip here back to the Ringahs.
And unfortunately for the Washers, the Ringahs took that fight fairly well. Only used 2 of those ults. With Primal and Window available, this is roughly even fight going into this next one.
Yeah, a lot of ults for both teams to work with. Mines coming out right away. Jackson Moon is able to find McNewbie. Hyper Knight getting 2 with the mines though. So it is an even fight here. Techio looking to get the res. They do find it onto McNewbie. Dread able to find the Baby Diva in the back line, but it is looking like it is going to be another flip yet again here. Just as they do get to 70, Omni coming back to stall for a couple more percentage, and that is going to get them to 73 before the flip comes through.
Great engagement from the Washers there, getting a couple kills before they even needed to pop any ults, giving them a massive advantage for this fight too. Copy, Pulse, almost every single ult of theirs, except for Mines, even Mines that's halfway there, are available, so it's going to be very difficult for the Ringahs to swap this.
Yeah, and the Mines did start the engagement here, and here comes that copy. They do get the Reinhardt. Duke going to be looking to get that Earth Shatter. Does find Omni, but the beat was there to keep him safe. Shinx able to find Yellow Cello though. The bomb comes up over the top. Doesn't find anybody, just the lamp. Techio with the res, but fights did go down. Trance comes out, keeps everybody healthy through that Earth Shatter. Didn't look like it found anybody anyways. Here comes Laser with the Deadeye. Looks like they made shot a little early, didn't find anybody, but everybody extremely low, and that is going to be 3 members falling for the Washers. Just going to be another little stall here from Clutch Caliber, Fight, and Hyper Knight on that ball, but they're not very long for life here against the full 6-stack.
Yeah, major mistake coming out from the Washers to pop so many ults so fast is Omni hit a massive beat that countered their Pulse, their Shatter, and their, Diva Bomb. The single Pulse, or a single beat, all those ults are gone, and surprising fight, swap comes out.
Yeah, and Washers are changing their entire comp here. Everybody's switching, it seems. Shinx able to find Fight right away, so they are going to be a man down going into this last engagement here. 99% overtime triggered, and it is the Shatter here. didn't look like it caught anybody, but Tekio, Yellow Shell, and Hyper Knight going down. And that is gonna be the Ringahs taking map 1 here.
Victory.
Yeah, just fortunate mistake by the Washers. They really should have had that last fight prior to that, the one we just saw, but great play from Omni comes out, and map 1 goes the Ringahs' way.
Yeah, kind of an overinvestment on that second to last engagement by the Washers, and then they tried to switch up the entire comp and going in completely dry against all the ultimates that Ringahs had, and it just did not work out. But we are going to be moving on to our next map here shortly. Will be Washington Washers' pick, so we're going to have to see what they decide to go for here. They do have the lobby elite host, so it shouldn't take too long to see what we are going to be going up to and see if we have any swaps on either side. And it looks like Blizzard World is going to be the pick here. Zim, what do you think these teams are going to come out on offense and defense?
Whichever team defends first, I really expect to see Double Shield or Brawl on this point. Double Shield is just incredibly easy to run, especially for first and second point, with such long corridors to shoot down and spam people out before you can even engage with your cooldowns available. But there's also a lot of corners you can hold to play Brawl on. It's a little bit harder to run monkey comps like Double Bubble or Ball comps here. But there's a lot you can do, but I personally expect to see Double Shield on defense and Brawl on attack. But any mix of Double Shield or Brawl, and I won't be surprised.
Yeah, and looks like we are not going to be getting any subs here. Both teams have ARD, so we should be getting into this second map shortly. So probably, like you said, going to see that Double Shield. Hyper Knight very good on that Orisa. Clutch Caliber. His Sigma is somehow underrated despite the fact that we rode it all the way to the Grand Finals in Outlet 3.5. So it should be a pretty good comp for them, especially with McNewbie clicking heads.
Initiating match.
And we are going to be going straight in here. Should be just a few more seconds before the hero pool unlocks and we get to see what each team is looking at. And yep, looks like it is going to be that a double shield for Washington Washes here. Interestingly, McNewbie on the legs, not the Asher Widow. Zim, what are your thoughts on that?
I mean, running legs over Ash it gives you a lot more mobility, and if they're running like a dive comp or something, it gives you more opportunities to run away. But you lose so much spam from Dynamite and from, what's it called? Just sheer amount of range damage that Ash does. It's an interesting choice, but we'll see how it ends up for him.
Yeah, it may just be, opting into, something a little better for the support line, maybe not wanting to, devote the Mercy pocket. But they do have fight on that Hanzo. He did do a lot of work in that last match, especially on Rialto. So maybe they're going to be relying on that for more of that spam damage.
Interestingly enough, the Ringahs are running a dive comp here, so we'll see if they get punished for not running a Kree or Brig or anything that can stop a full-on dive.
And they are able to take the high ground here for that little roller coaster ride pretty easily. A couple members going a little bit low there. Oh, Jackson Moon almost got taken out there with the Discord and the pull, but they were able to get the bubble down and get the healing. That is going to be a fast nano here, already 74% for Twists. That's going to be a pretty fast nano here to come in. They do start the dive off here, and they are able to catch Yellow Solo right away with that Echo ability. But it looks like they are able to, push the members away from that dive. They are regrouping a little bit here. That nano is online, and it comes in. Fight able to jump away from that. The Lance comes down, gets killed right away. Lays are able to find Fight. That is both DPS down for Washers now. Hyper Knight falls down. Clutch Caliber able to trade out Jackson Moon. but it is going in the direction of Ringahs here, and they are going to be capping here as the Washers are going back to spawn.
Doesn't get much better than that for a dive team looking to cap first point, as they got Nano incredibly fast as Jackson Moon barely lived to start that engage. But they nearly got Nano immediately. They set up, got a free dive in, with all their cooldowns available and all their health. Got a pick and just engage with Nano from there. Can't do it any better than that.
Yeah, and Twist already almost halfway to that. Shink's able to find 2 with the Pulse Bomb though. The Flux is big and it does grab a couple here. So it is an even fight here, especially with that Diva Mech going down and Laser falling. Clutch Caliber able to get that Baby Diva's Hyper Knife finds a kill on the cart. And that is going to be Ringah's progress is stopped here, despite Shinx opening it up with that 2k Pulse Bomb.
Yeah, great Pulse Bomb coming out from Shinx, but oh, looks like we have a pause at the moment.
Yeah, it looks like it is on the side of Ringahs, so I'm not sure exactly what is going on. Maybe contributed to that fight. They are saying animal interference though, so hopefully should be resolved momentarily. So we should probably just throw it to a quick break here while things get resolved, and we'll be right back as soon as this match gets back underway. All right. And we are back right away. Very short pause here, as they were able to take care of that issue very fast. And Ringahs are already back on the cart here, or just next to it, not close enough to actually get it moving. They are going on this very long wraparound, and meanwhile, Washers are taking the attacker's position here and setting up on the cart itself.
Yeah, it's just a strange rotation coming up from the Ringahs. It gives them so much time, gives the Washers so much time to rotate back that they can still just get the same amount of spam. It just kind of wastes time.
Yeah, and McNewby is able to catch Laser there. Jackson Moon did dive in, but not quick enough with that bubble to save them. They are pulled back into it here. The window comes out from Tekio. A couple members here going down for Ringahs, and it looks like the other 3 are trying to wrap back to the cart to either get it moving again or go back to spawn. So this is going to be another fight win for the Washers.
Very strange strategy coming out from the Ringahs, but maybe they were thrown off due to the boss. I honestly don't know why they would do that.
Yeah, and it looks like Clutch Caliber caught out there, did not rotate with the rest of the team as Ringahs re-engaged off the spawn. Nano Monkey coming in here is able to get rid of the lamp. Laser catches Yellow Shello with the Echo Bombs, and Deadeye does eat fights. High Noon comes out from Laser's copy, able to catch fight, and it is going to be Ringahs capping point B here.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, Clutch Caliber getting caught out in the beginning of the fight ended up leading to them just being at a disadvantage instantly, and Dive is one of those comps that just capitalizes very, very quickly once they get a pick. So you gotta be very careful to make sure no one splits off and gets picked off.
Fight able to find Laser here, so this is going to be a little bit of an advantage for Washers as they do try to push back here on Clutch's Flux. Does catch quite a few members and does get Omni. Shinx falling to McNewby as well in the back line. So this is going to be Ringahs with the reset here.
Great play from Caliber there to Flux, just to stabilize Source team. Now they can hold fairly well with plenty of space, no need to worry about getting steamrolled. And now with ult even, this is going to be a very interesting fight to watch.
Yeah, both support ults coming out from Ringahs. The Deadeye gets popped by McNewby, but they do get slept out of it, and Jackson Moon is able to remove that supercharger, so both ultimates wasted there. Tekio is able to put out the window. They do find a couple kill onto the Diva in the back of it, fight with the Dragons as well, and they are getting the kills here, pushing Ringahs back, but that was quite a costly fight for the Washers.
There was a lot of ults from the Washers, but there was also quite a few ults from the Ringahs too. Like, they only have their tackles available. And even though the Ringahs can easily swing with those tackles, this is still very even territory. Just a slight Ringah advantage.
McNewbie is able to catch Shinx right away. Bomb comes out, finds Tekio, and the lamp must have missed the placement on it. Jackson Moon able to find McNewbie. The Primal Rage comes out here. Omni finding his counterpart in Yellow Cello, and it is just a few members left of the Walkers on the cards. They are going to be taken out here, and they are going to be pushing that cart very close to capping here when Washers finally get off spawn.
Honest mistake from Tekio to not rotate away from the bomb. Even though they may have planned on using ammo to survive it, there's a corner right there, you know?
Flux comes out from Clutch Caliber, is able to find 3, but must have been stunned out because nobody actually fell from that. The Attack Fighters comes out from Laser Finds fight. Nano Monkey once again, we do be able to trade out for Shinx. The Supercharger comes down from Hyper Knight. They are able to convert it into a kill onto Laser before it is taken out. Hyper Knight gives his life to Omni. The Yellow Cello with the rally on the point. But there are not a lot of Washers there to benefit from it. Fight with the Dragon Strike is not able to really catch any. Do split up the team there. It does actually put some work into Dread to demech him at the end. And Omni falling to Tekio is going to solidify this hold here for Washers.
Even though they lost the fight, unbelievable play from Twist to sleep that Flux from Caliber, as that sleep allowed them to, forced out so many more ults from Washers than they otherwise would have needed to win the fight, that they have a very real chance to just win a near neutral fight coming up.
Yeah, and it looks like we are going to be seeing another pause here. Not sure exactly why this time. They have clarified that it is not the cat. So we will be throwing it to a quick break here, just in case this one is a little bit longer. All right.
There it goes.
Alrighty, we are back underway yet again from that second pause here. Only about 30 seconds left for Ringer's Zone. It is going to be pretty much a dry fight for everybody. McNewbie does have the Deadeye and Tekio has the wall, whereas they are coming up on the Diva ults on the side of Ringer's. The wall from fight doesn't really do much there, but the window coming out from Tekio, they are able to kite behind that little bit of rubble here, not really catch anybody. Yubi does pop the Deadeye, and they get boosted up into the air by the Mei, but Twist is able to find them before they're able to actually get it on. Hyper Knight able to trade out on Jackson Moon here, so it is a 5v5. Shinx able to get their counterpart and fight, so the kill's starting to go both ways here. DMAC on the Clutch Caliber, so it is just Yellow Cello left on the point, along with that baby Diva. And it is overtime here now. It looks like Watchers are going to be doing a little bit of a soft reset here. Fight comes back on the Doomfist now. Able to find anybody. Dread gets Tekio with the bomb. And Hyper Knight coming back on the ball. But it is all Ring is here. The window comes out. Hyper Knight falls. Blizzard onto the point here just to keep people away. Deadeye finds McNewbie. Yellow Cello back with the break, but they don't find anybody. Dread with the bomb over the top. Nobody there for it to catch. A few members here from the Washers able to keep stalling it out. Jackson Moon able to find Tekio. Clutch Caliber losing the mech and their life as well as fights. Hyper Knight is still trying to keep the cart contested here, but it is just them and McNewbie on the Tracer. Yellow Cello coming back with the rally, but still no kills coming out for the Washers. It is still just the Ringers, but no kills coming out for a while for anybody here as the Washers do start to get people back here. It is more than just a couple members now, but Dread able to find Yellow Cello. Fight able to finally get a kill onto Omni. With that, Doomfist, Laser able to find McNewbie with the Deadeye. Jackson Moon comes back with the ball and it finds Hyper Knight. Fight able to get the Doomfist up but not find anything. Jackson Moon mines onto the point here, so this is going to be very difficult for the rest of Washers to stall it out, and they're not able to.
That was just a whole lot of stall and a whole lot of ults. There's really not much more to say. A whole bunch of Qs were pressed and standard late fight, last fight shenanigans ensued.
Initiating match.
Yeah, Washers with an excellent stall to keep it going, despite only having like one or two members there at any given point, and then catching Ringahs unable to find any kills and allowing them to build up to like 4 or 5 members on the point, but they only got like 1 or 2 kills the entire engagement, despite actually stalling it out really well.
Ready for battle.
It looks like we are going to be seeing the double shield here from Ringahs on the defense. It looks like I'm going to be matching it on the tank line for Washers, but we are finally going to see that McNewbie Widow for the first time this match.
Interesting to see the Widow and the Hanzo pick here, though, as there aren't really all that many different sightlines you can take on first point attack. And I get it if you're looking for a little bit of a spam from the Hanzo while the Widow can look for picks, but it's interesting to say the least that they're running the Widow Hanzo on attack instead of defense.
And meanwhile, we do have Shinx on the Torb, so that 7th man going to be putting in a lot of work. McNewbie does go over the top, doesn't find anybody quite yet. It is just going to be the Widow standing in the main choke there, trying to find some picks. As the tank line does push up pretty well for free there, they are able to get the turrets. Fight's actually off on the high ground on the side, putting in a lot of work himself, but does get rotated out. We'll be able to find the turret, which does keep things even here. And Clutch Caliber getting Shinx himself, as well as the turret, so that is going to be main advantage here for Washers. They do push in here. Hyper Knight able to find Twist and Omni, so both supports down. Hyper Knight going on a tear here, 3 kills. Make that 4 with the melee onto Dread, and that is going to be a first cap here for the Washers.
I haven't seen a horse beat that many people to death before, but after getting 2 snipers on completely different angles and not getting punished, they got an opening pick and got a lot of free and easy ways to win the fight.
You must have missed John Wick 3 then. But here we are with the double shields on the high ground here. Ringahs is pushing straight into Washers as they try to take that advantage. They do be able to find Twist still, and Fight able to find Shinx as well. So both DPS down, both members down here. Clutch able to get a really good flux. Finds Omni and 2 kills of his own, and then Jackson Moon just stands there and gets sent to the glue factory.
Absolute massive flex from Clutch Caliber, maintaining momentum for the Washers. With Bongo on the line, they are gonna have another near equal fight as well. And with how the fights are going, I wouldn't be surprised if they just kept on winning.
Ooh, Shinx is able to find Fight before the fight really gets going. Yellow Cello is there with the res though, so it is going to be an even 6v6. Supercharger comes out as well as Laser's Tack Visor. But Jackson Moon is able to find Clutch Caliber. Laser finds Fight. Shinx finds McNewbie. So this is going to be a good hold here from Ringahs as the Mercy, the support line, gives their life to Shinx.
Very good play coming out from the Ringahs there to stabilize without using too many ults as well. After the window and the visor, they managed to catch Clutch Caliber out and a couple others on rotation, and now they have a very easy to hold area on that high ground on second point in Blizzard World. So it'll be interesting to see how the Washers try to push this.
Yeah, and the Ringahs know exactly where they're coming from too. That Sonic Arrow catching most of the team there as they try to push up that high ground. A lot of spam damage coming out here, but not a lot of kills damage. As I say, that Fight is able to get Twisties. Laser trades out for Yellow Shallow here, so it is a few members down on both sides. Fight does send in the Dragon's not able to find anybody, and he gives his life up for his efforts. But there's a big brawl here on the point between the tank line and Tekio, but it is starting to go the Washer's way here. Just a couple members of the Ringahs left. Looks like both DPS as well as the Sports coming off the spawn. Members coming back for both teams now. Yellow Cello able to find Laser. Tekio finds her counterpart Twist, and it looks like that's going to be a cap here with 4 minutes on the clock for the Washers.
Even though it didn't kill anybody, the Dragons coming out from fight were absolutely game-changing in that fight, as they ended up splitting off the Orisa from the Sigma and the Sigma and the Orisa from their Zen. Every single person on their team got split by those Dragons. It just allowed for Hyper Knight and Clutch to just hard push the split points of the other team, and so it was a pretty free win for the Washers.
And we are going to have, a bunch of ults coming up on both sides here. Maybe that Flux from Dread, but it is Tekio's window that comes out first. Does catch the opposing Sigma, but only Jackson Moon going down here to Yellow Cello. Dread able to put himself on the high ground here, is able to catch fight. Shinx gets 2 with the headshots here. So it is going to be a good hold here to stabilize the defense here for Ringahs.
Interesting swap coming out from the Ringahs to swap from Jackson Moon onto the Ryan from the Orisa, so they're not going to be able to spam nearly as much, but maybe they're just looking to aim to hold more corners and not focus as much on spam for the end of their point.
Window comes out from Twist as Shinx goes back to spawn to swap to the Mei. Clutch Caliber Flux is massive, but the window's there to keep everybody alive. Supercharger comes out here from Hyper Knight. It is the Mei with the ice block in the middle of the team, not able to last long. Newbie finds Jackson Moon to get Dread's mech as the Supercharge expires. Hyper Knight gives his life. That is all the members of the Ringahs down here except Omni, who does just die. The ball comes back from the spawn to stall, as well as the Tracer, but Yellow Shell is there with the Transcendence to keep everybody healthy through this stall attempt. Tracer recalls, not able to find anybody just yet. McDoobie takes them out. Deadeye coming out, and it is able to catch Omni. That is going to be the rest of the Ringahs falling, and Jackson Moon not able to get to touch.
Unbelievable tank ults coming out from Clutch and Hyper Knight to end that fight, with the Flux coming out to open it up. 4-man forces out ammo, forces out every single ability of the Ringahs, and Bongo just to clean up and make sure there's enough damage to punish them immediately. Beautiful setup for the fight, and just got them so they could push it far enough so the Ringahs would have to stall, and they just cleaned up from there.
Yeah, and luckily, Washers were able to do that with time here, so it is their map to lose now with 2 minutes on the clock. So at the very least, we will see at least 4 maps in this series.
Interesting to see the brawl coming out from the Ringahs after a fairly, fairly difficult defense with their double shield. They should expect double shield from the Washers again after how well it worked, and running brawl here may make that quite difficult, as with a couple good pulls, it's very easy to spam them out.
That is true. They may be thinking, they had the double shield and Washers were able to, cap in the first fight. So maybe they're trying something different to, get a little mental edge going into this overtime here.
It'll be interesting to see how it plays out, but I do think that the Washers are at quite an advantage here.
Yeah, and maybe not able to find anybody as most of the Ringahs were hiding in that little hut here. They do get sighted out by Fight's Sonic Arrow, so they Washers should know exactly where they are. A little bit of spam coming out here, but nobody really taking a whole lot of damage. They are pushing the go button here, and Ringahs are engaging straight onto the Washers. Clutch Caliber goes down right away. Fight able to trade out for Shinx. It is a 5v5 here, and it looks like the Ringahs are content to keep the Washers at bay and just kind of kite back here, maybe get a little bit healed up before they come back. Here comes the speed boost yet again on the Hyper Knight, who does pop that golden mode from the course. Laser able to find Yellow Cello though, so it is going to be an advantage for the Ringahs here as Shinx comes off the respawn. Window coming out, but McNewbie does find the headshot onto Shinx, so it is an even fight still. Laser able to trade out McNewbie though, so it is going to be Washers backing up here, and looks like they're going to be going for a bit of a reset. As I say that, they do actually start moving forward here to try and take the 4v5, as they do have Yellow Cello coming back from the spawn to make it an even fight. Possibly betting on that respawn advantage, though. Dragon Strike comes in, it is pretty big, but Laser is able to take a fight out with the Deadeye. Both Immortality Fields going down here. Shinx is just pushing up very hard with that Mei ult, or not Mei ult, but the Ice Block. Tekio does pop the window just to force Ringahs to leave the line of sight. Ults coming out of both sides here. Beat comes out to counter the Flux. Yellow Cello with the Transcendence as well. Supercharger on the point, and McNewbie is starting to get the kills. Laser does get Hyper Knight with Clutch Caliber. McNewbie combining for 3 more kills. Fight finds Shinx, and McNewbie gets the kill onto Omni, and that is going to be Washers capping the point and evening up the series 1-1.
Very, very close call for the Washers, but they managed to get just enough ults in time to clear out that Ringahs setup with Brawl, but they got very, very lucky to get that Flux up in time, as they were sitting at around 80% prior to the beginning of the final fight.
Yeah, and here we see Clutch Caliber actually not getting anybody with the Flux there, but a lot of damage in and able to get those kills to give them the fight win there. And it looks like fight will be restarting, so we're probably going to be seeing a halftime here. So we are going to throw it to a quick break. We'll be right back with the second half of this match. Oh, it's so hot here. Welcome back, everybody. We are still here with this match between the Washington Washers and the Ringahs. It is a very close 1-1 right now. Zim, what are your thoughts on this match so far?
Looks like the Washers double shield is just better than the Ringahs, but the brawl has been much closer between the two teams. And after a bunch of crucial mistakes made from the Washers in the first map that lost them a easily winnable map, they got it back together on the second map, and I kind of expect the Washers to keep rolling from here. But it's a very close match nonetheless.
And we are going to be moving on to Gibraltar here for our third map. So probably going to see a lot less of that brawl and more of that either double shield or the dive variants. And we are going to be going straight into it here. It was just a very short halftime for that PC to get restarted. it's going to be interesting to see what each team decides to come out with.
I personally am hoping to see a whole lot of monkey comps, as this is one of the strongest points in the game for dive, or double bubble, or some sort of monkey comp, but double shield is also understandable with the long sight lines, but no one wants to watch too much double shield. Dive would be a whole lot more fun here.
Definitely, especially with Clutch Caliber, who's very, very skilled with the Primal Rage mechanics. But it looks like we are going to see them come out with the double shield for the defense. With Newbie back to that Ashe and fight sticking on the Hanzo.
Incoming in 30 seconds.
Yeah, makes sense to run the Ashe instead of the Widow on defense here. Just to get Bob as a nice stalling, at least opportunity every once in a while. And being able to put out a whole lot more spam that will also prevent her from getting folded over by the enemy dive with her boop. So she has a lot more options than that would already be there from Widow.
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, no pocket though, but McNewbie is a very good DPS, so probably won't need it. And it looks like we are going to see the teleport strat from Ringahs right away. Monkey does jump up there to join them. And immediately cede that high ground to go back to the point.
Yeah, normal thing to have teams TP up there to make sure there's no one hiding or no off angles that are going to be there when they push up. So it's a nice strat just to do just in case.
The dive comes in, but McNewbie is able to coach gun the monkey away. Both tanks going very low. Support line is there to keep them up. Omni themselves going super low here as Watchers regroup here to hold this point cart in the choke here. A lot of damage, but the Nano is online right away. Here comes Jackson Moon with that dive. They are able to kill them before the Flux comes out, but it does also catch the Diva, and that is going to be a good hold here from the Washers.
What looked to be a good engage from Jackson Moon just ended up being a bit more than he could chew without the rest of his team right there with him. And all the spam coming onto him as a glowing blue monkey jumps into their team. Lizstone dying nearly instantly and losing the fight. A lot of ults available for both teams now, but with the Bongo available, I expect this way to go to the Watchers.
Yeah, that Bongo does have a very high team fight win rate. But it looks like we are going to see the Tracer trying to do a little work in the backline here. Monkey does dive in, and McNewbie with the coach gun right away, but Laser able to find him with the attack visor. That is the Monkey going in even harder here with the Primal Rage. They are able to get Yellow Shell. They do give up their life, but in the meantime, Ringahs have repositioned themselves on the card, and they are going to cap here, while Washers are very far away from the points. Hyper not able to get there in time, and that is the cap here as the fight keeps going. Fight finds Omni, but kills going for Ringahs here as the Washers are going to be looking to regroup here.
Very strange decision from the Watchers to hold their ults for so long, using Bongo only after someone on their team died. Doesn't really make much sense to me, as it just gives the advantage to the dive that once they make their move, they are in. It's going to be very difficult to win a fight once they're already in. You got to get them before they can actually engage. So, crucial mistake there, leading to a lost fight for them. There's no other way to say it.
Yeah, and the Raiders almost have this card all the way pushed through B as the Bob comes out from McNewbie. Not finding a whole lot of kills with it, but it is keeping Ringahs at bay a little bit. Jackson Moon is able to get McNewbie. They do get the Nano. They're just kind of kiting around with it and doing a lot of cleave damage. Going extremely low there, just able to get back to Omni as they do pop that rally to keep everybody alive. Laser with attack visor once again, and that is kills starting to flow here for the Ringahs. Only a couple members of the Washers on the points. They are chasing down Tekio. Now Hyper Knight falls next. It is just Yellow Cell left, and that is going to be the cap here. Fight coming in to stall just a little bit to keep time off the clock. Clutch Caliber as well, getting in on the action, but they are not long for life.
Very strange time to call for a composition swap from the Washers, as swapping double bubble there just gives them no time to build ults when the other team clearly has some available after capping first. And since they swap up immediately for third point, they're once again at ult disadvantage here. It's gonna be very difficult to hold, even with the superior comp in neutral fights. With Brawl here, it's gonna be hard for him.
Eagle Bomb comes out, does not find anybody. Shinx used the ultimate, didn't see it go on to anybody or even explode. I'm not sure where exactly it went, didn't show up in the kill feed either as Eden. But Laser is up on this high ground, just pumping damage into him. But the Washers don't really care and are just pushing in and getting a couple kills. Laser is able to find Tekio in the background though. Jackson Moon is able to find Newbie with their Primal Rage. Hyper Knight kind of just pins away as Shinx kills them. Attack Visor comes out from Laser yet again as they do catch and fight. That is going to be the card continuing to roll here as the Washers try to regroup in the spawn, and it is going to be last fight territory here as that card is inching ever closer. Washers coming back to try and keep them away. But it is all every member here. Hyper Knight does find the Shatter onto the Diva. Shinx is able to trade out with Newbie. Big anti here onto Hyper Knight. The lamp just keeping them alive, but it falls, so do they and Tekio. Yellow Cello able to get the melee kill onto Laser. That monkey is nanoed and it is mad. Jackson Moon able to find Yellow Cello. The rally does come out from Omni. And McDoobie is back on the Doomfist, but not finding any kills with it. Hyper Knight there in the lamp. The light fades, and so does the defense.
Critical error coming out from Clutch there to push up with his Ryan when there was still a soldier clearly shooting at his team's backline. As soon as that soldier was still there and able to get a pick, that was just a lost fight. You gotta know not to push too far when you have a disadvantage if you get a pick, or if you get picked off. Even though they have better respawns, that's not a pick you want to even risk in the first place, as that corner is the last good place to hold on Jib.
Yeah, they had the fights, going their way. Then they just pushed up too far and left Laser on that high ground, which allowed them to get a kill on the BAP, which created the opening for them to turn what was a loss into a pretty easy cap for the last, extended fight and a half.
Looks like we're going to be seeing a Monkey Cop mirror, but looks like the Ringers are going to be running the Monkey Diva again, where the Washers are going to be rocking Double Bubble here.
Yeah, and McNewbie on the Genji as well, so we are going to be potentially seeing the Nano Blade coming out here, unless they decide to keep that Nano on the Monkey.
It's going to be interesting to see how the Washers play this, as they have them slower playing comp than the Ringahs. So expect to see Tekio farming for a Nano and trying to get a Nano engagement with Monkey or Nano Blade going.
Yeah, and they do take that teleporter right away to that high ground. They are sticking up there a little bit as Fight is pushing that card underneath. McNewbie goes in with Clutch Caliber there. Not a lot of kills coming out so far. Most of the members being healed up by Twist there. They do get stunned by Yellow Cello, and Laser able to find two here. Clutch does find Omni though, so it could still be winnable for Washers, but they are backing off. Probably going to try and get the respawn advantage here with a quick little soft reset. And Clutch Caliber does dive in, gets moved away, so they are going to rotate back to the cart and get it pushing a little bit. Clutch Caliber goes back up top, and Ringahs just collapse on the backline of Washers and get 3 kills. And that is going to be the rest of the Washers going back to spawn.
Surprising to see the Washers make a timing error, but seeing Tekio, Yellow Cell, and Hyper Knight push in before the Monkey dove in, they're trying engaging 3v6 before the rest of the team was there. There's not much that could have happened for them. They were just too early and they engaged. It led to a pretty fast lost fight.
Get back in the fight. You're powered up.
The Nano Monkey does come in from both sides here, not finding anything for Jackson Moon. They do chase after Tekio. Laser finds them with the Dragon Strike though. Clutch Caliber able to get Omni with their Primal Rage. So it is kills going on both ways. It's Red able to find Clutch Caliber. Hyper Knight with the kill onto Shinx. So it is still a 4v4 here. but Newbie is in the back line, taking out the Ana, so a lot less healing for the side of the Ringahs. Newbie finds the dash kill into Laser. Yellow Cello with the rally, and that is going to be the Ringahs backing off here, probably looking for a little bit of a soft reset before the cap comes in. The Tracer does get there to stall. Then here comes the member from the Ringahs. Here to stall it out. Newbie pops the blade, not finding anybody just yet. But the Anas are getting kills with both their bio nades. That is McNewbie getting the dash reset kills, and that is going to be the cap here for the Washers.
Yeah, McNewbie's starting to pop up on the Genji, really bailing the Washers out there, as they were going roughly even prior to this, but McNewbie getting all those kills, not only the stall fight, but the fight prior to open things up, really just saved the Washers from what would have been a very, very difficult to win fight.
Yeah, and the Ringahs do have that coveted spaceship control here, but Hyper Knight does pop the Graviton Surge, and they are able to get a few kills off of it. That is 3 members down for the Ringahs, as they're going to be looking to clean up this and get a very easy cap of point B.
Just a critical error coming out from Dread and the Ringahs, as everyone on their team just went for the engage at the same time in the same place, and they have grab on the line. If you get grabbed there, there's nothing you can do to stop it. It's not like you have a BAP or a Zen to have ammo or defensive ult to save you. It's just they all died because of the way they tried engaging the exact same spot at the same time, and yeah.
Clutch Caliber goes in with the Nano, also uses the Primal Rage on top of it, so that is a very buffed up Monkey. Nano Monkey comes out on the other side as well, and they also pop the Primal Rage on top of it. A lot of people anti here, and Jackson Moon is able to find a kill on the Tekio. Rally comes out from Yellow Cello as Hyper Knight finds a kill on the Laser, so it is evened up here. But Shinx does get the stick onto Yellow Cello and take care of that armored brig. Hyper Knight still pushing the cart, very high charge. Clutch Caliber there to help them out. The DPS line is starting to get some kills here onto Shinx. Ringahs going back to the spawn to try and get a bit of a soft reset here. The anti comes in and it is massive, finds a lot. McNewbie with 2 with the blade. The bomb comes in, doesn't find anybody. The grab there to keep them in the spawn. Then comes out from Laser and it finds 3! And that is going to be the Ringahs holding after losing so many.
That was another set of weird ults coming out from the Washers. That grab came out into the spawn room of the Ringahs, but they were already being held in their spawn by the Genji Blade. They probably could have held off on the grab, and instead they just lose an opportunity to win the game.
Yeah, not sure what the thought process was there. Maybe they were thinking to keep them in the doorway so that Newbie could get those swings in. That is going to be the Nano Monkey coming out here from Jackson Moon. They are able to get Tekio right away. The Washers are already backing off here and looking to reset with only 2.5 minutes left.
How does clean up and engage as you can ask for coming out from the Ringahs, getting a Nano Monkey into the enemy backline, and nothing they can really do about it. Worse yet for the Washers, Jackson Moon nearly got another Primal so he can go aggro once more, and they still don't have any of the ults of their own. They're nowhere close, so it's going to be hard for them to win this fight too. Yeah,
they did completely switch their comp up after getting pushed away at the end of C here. So not coming up on those ults quite yet, and Shinx able to find the kill onto McNewbie. Pulse Bomb comes in, does get the lamp. Clutch Caliber able to trade out Jackson Moon though, so it is an even fight here. Fight able to get the headshot onto Twist, but Laser trades out for Hyper Knight, so it is still an even fight. The Dread goes down though. Fight able to find the kill onto Omni, but Laser is able to trade out with Attack Visor onto Tekio. They do catch Clutch Caliber as well. Yellow Shell able to get Shinx, but it is just the DPS line here as Jackson Moon pops the Primal Rage to push them back to spawn. Clutch Caliber jumping off the side of the map to get that reset.
Laser once again clutching out with the Attack Visor, getting several picks in what was another very close fight prior to it. And even though the Ringers win that fight, there's so many ults coming up on the Watcher side now that I expect them to finally cap the point. Every single one's available.
Yeah, and that is going to be the kill on the laser from fights. The Nano Monkey comes out, but they do pop both the Beat and the Deadeye. Bomb comes in as well, trying to catch as many people as they can. Kosh Caliber does catch Jackson Moon, but Dread able to trade out for Kenobi. Yellow Cello able to get the Baby D before the remake. Hyper Knight with the Shatter, but falls to the Nano, or the anti-nade. And it is going to be the Washers pushed away yet again as the rally comes out from Omni.
They lost fight early and they still pushed it. And even though they pushed it, they used all their ults at the same time, so it can be countered just with a simple kite and go again. Another weird set of ults used by the Washers, and now what looked like a gold scenario to cap the point is now a pipe dream at best.
Yeah, and Laser with Attack Visor yet again. See if they can come up massive with it. The Pulse Bomb gets thrown in and does catch the lamp. Laser does find the Yellow Cello with the Attack Visor and fight before he can get the Dragons off, so that is an ultimate canceled. Kenobi is able to get a couple kills of his own on the tank line here, so it's not quite over. Omni is able to take out Hyper Knight, and that is going to be Ringahs holding Washers from capping and taking map 3.
Victory.
Yeah. Surprising hold from the Ringers coming out after seeing how fast second point was lost, but very great job by the Ringers to stabilize and hold the Washers for so long. Take another map.
Yeah, and here is that massive Deadeye that was able to turn it when it was just, as you can see, Jackson Moon with 1 HP and the D.Va coming off a respawn. That was Washer's best bet, but they all died to the Deadeye.
Laser just decided that, nope, not going to give up the point now. It really felt like Laser and a little bit of Shinx versus the world for a couple of those fights at the end there.
Yeah, both DPS doing a lot of work to keep Ringahs in it when it looks like Washers are gonna, take those fights. Very reminiscent of the match yesterday with Purple and their DPS line able to turn lost fights with, a single ability or ultimate.
Just the ability to get pick out of nowhere or find an opportunity in what seems like an easily one fight for the other team is how you create opportunities for your team when you may expect to regroup normally.
And it looks like Washers are going to be picking Hanamura for map 4 here. It is match point for the Ringers, though, so Washers do have to, win this map in order to get us to a map 5. Otherwise, Ringers, they are going to be taking this series, and they are going to be picking defense here to start us off. And yeah. It's like maybe a little bit of a miscommunication there. Some are Ringers saying defense, some saying no, some saying R. But it looks like we should be getting into map 4 here momentarily. Zim, what do you think Ringers need to close out the series here?
The thing biting them in the butt the most this series has just been their ulticon. They win a lot of neutral fights, and when they use their ults properly, they win a whole lot of ult fights too. Like when they pop their ults staggered a little bit, they do very well. It's just they've been making a lot of mistakes when it comes to popping a bunch of ults at the same time, when they can just be a little bit more patient and hold them out. And they've also allowed Laser and Shinx to flank a way more than they really should be able to, especially going against a D.Va or a Sig. They have a lot of opportunities that really shouldn't necessarily be there, but I believe in the Watchers to be able to bring it back, but they've really got to clean up their macro here if they intend to win the game.
Yeah, like we saw at the end of Gibraltar, they had 6 ultimates, and they just layered them on, and none of them were really, synergized. Like, McNewbie had the Deadeye, which pushed Ringahs out of line of sight, and then they threw in the Diva Bomb in almost the same location. So the people that weren't going to be caught by the Diva Bomb are not going to be caught by the Deadeye either. So it's just 2 zoning ultimates there. And that was pretty much the story of, Washington's ult cycling the entire match.
Only one way to find out if they'll fix it, and I'll be watching this map right here. If they win it, it'll be tied 2-2, but there's a very real chance that if they don't clean up that ulticon, that it'll be game 3-1 after this.
And we are going to see them coming out with the Brawl Cob here with that special teleporter. Meanwhile, we do have the double shield with the Torb Ash on the other side.
Kind of curious to know why the Ringahs are running double shield here, as even in double shield mirror, they seemed a little bit weaker than the Washers, but they know this is a very common sim TP point, and for good reason. It's very difficult to stop it with a spammier comp. Surprised they're not running Brawl, but we'll see if they can make it work.
Yeah, and that is going to be the Washers coming up here to the choke. I'm going to be putting that teleporter down right away. And they are on the point. The Ash looked like it may have been a little bit right on time here, as they do get a lot of members on fire. Jackson Moon able to get Tekio out, and that is a lot of healing gone for the Wash. Doobie is able to trade out for Shinx though, so that's going to be a bunch of damage missing. Dread able to find Hyper Knight with the rock, and that is going to be the kills starting to come out here for the Ringahs. Not a lot going the side of Washers, and that's going to be an easy first win for the Ringahs.
Yeah, Tekio just got caught out on the rotation. After TP, the majority of the team went to the left and went onto stairs to try to rush the enemy Sigma and their map with them, but Tekio stayed back and got picked off by the Orisa set up right side still. They just gotta be more careful in their rotations when they full engage.
Looks like they are going to be sticking on this teleporter here, fight halfway to the wall as well. This time though, they are going to the high ground, and they are able to catch out Twists. So that is a pretty good rotation for them. They do leave Laser in their back line, firing into them from afar. Lamp comes out for Tekio, able to keep the members of Washers alive here through that fire. Fight able to go back and get Laser, as the rest of the Ringers do back off here. They give up the point and jump off the map.
Yeah, much better to be engaged for coming out from the Washers there. They had the entire team go through, and they engaged in a spot that they couldn't be collapsed on immediately from 2 angles. By doing that, they get an easy pick and get an easy engage for even the next point here too.
And they do push directly onto the point. The wall comes up from fight as Dread goes down to McNewbie. Laser's Bob is able to catch Yellow Cello here, and but it is traded out from Omni. Clutch Caliber had lost the mech earlier and did finally go down to Shanks. Jackson Moon able to find the kill onto McNewbie, and that is going to be the Washers going back to spawn for this one.
Even though they had the sim wall up, they didn't really give themselves much room to work with, as they had so much room still available for the enemy App and Ash in the top right. So it's going to be a little bit hard for the Washers to cap, just based on the map geometry, but with 5 ults on the line, it gets a single bongo, and, well, Flux and Rally nearly there. It's going to be close, but Washers have a good chance to cap right here, right now.
Yeah, hopefully they don't layer all these ultimates like they have been the last couple maps. Otherwise, they could very easily let Ringahs win this fight here. The Flux comes out from Dread, catches a lot of the members here, but Clutch Caliber able to get 3 with the bomb. Jackson Moon does get the Diva before they are able to remech. Washers are setting themselves up on the point here. Just a couple members of the Ringahs trying to hold them off. But Hyper Knight and McNewbie able to find a couple of kills here. Supercharger comes up from Jackson Moon, and Shinx is able to find the kill on McNewbie. Fight able to get Omni out, so that's going to be less healing for the side here. Just the tank line left here. Fight able to take out Jackson Moon, Clutch Caliber with the booster kill onto Dread. Shix is able to find Hyper Knight here, so it's not over quite yet. Bomb comes onto the point. That lamp is still there, keeping people alive. It looks like it is going to be the hold here as Laser's Bob comes up massive and no ticks for the Washers.
Washers made one very simple but very critical mistake there. They didn't break the bongo as soon as it came out. With that much extra damage able to be poured into your team, you really don't have as much sustain as you think. Even with your entire team there, and not the entire enemy team, with the amount of damage boosts going out to the entire enemy team, you can't afford to leave that bongo standing, and yet, even though they had several opportunities to break it, they just let it stand there, and eventually HyperNet fell.
Yeah,
A bit of focus fire always could have helped to get a couple earlier picks, but leaving bongo there really doomed him in.
And we did have a pause come out here quick as somebody apparently DC'd from the voice chat, but we are getting right back underway here. Just a quick little reconnect. So it is going to be the Washers pushing in here. They do have a couple ults coming up here though, but they kind of spent heavy and didn't get anything on the last engagement. But they do collapse onto Dread here and able to get rid of that signal right away. But the map jumps up to the high ground, pops the window, and the Washers are just going to be kiting that out as Laser gets the kill on the McNewbie.
Laser in a lot of trouble here though, since Ellis of the entire enemy team, he falls. And, oh, massive pull coming out from Jackson Moon. Pulling them all off that high ground, or off the bridge, and it's going to be very difficult for him to swing the fight now.
Yeah, and the beat comes out from Yellow Cello after fight falls. But the kill's starting to go for the Washers' way here. A few members of the Ringahs off the point as the cap is starting to come in here. Almost 3-point ticks. Flux comes out from Dread as they come off spawn. Puts a lot of members into the air, but no kills coming out from that ultimate. Just a couple members left here, but it is a full 6 for the Washers here. Respawn starting to come in. Jackson Moon on the ball. Kyle Driver doesn't really find anybody, and Clutch Caliber gets a couple of kills. So they are continuing to stall it out here, though, take some time off the clock. Rally comes out, but they do get the kill before it really does anything. Clutch with the Flux, but doesn't catch anybody, and that is going to be the cap here with 1:20 remaining.
Great idea from the Washers to swap the double shield after seeing the Ringahs running double shields themselves. Because even though double shield isn't the best comp to attack with in comparison to defense, while it can be done, it's usually viewed as a stronger defensive comp. Just based on how much better they've been in the double shield mirror, it's a great idea from them to just go for the mirror, even though they might, in theory, be at a slight disadvantage just because they know at heart they are better.
Yeah, they are playing that very well. Hyper Knight, a very good Orisa player. Clutch Caliber's Sigma was kind of his signature hero for a bit there, despite being a main tank player. So these are both, heroes that these two excel at. It's very working in their advantage really well with those neutral fights. And
Looks like we'll be seeing the same setup from the Washers and the Ringahs, but swaps. They have Brawl coming out from the Ringahs with the Sim TP, and the Washers have double shield.
Yeah, and McNewbie back on the legs again. Maybe interesting to see how he was able to manage that instead of having that dynamite for that teleporter.
Yeah, I honestly really dislike this soldier pick here. Like, at least on Jib, I can understand the reasoning of running the soldier instead of the Ashe. Here, it's a lot more of a stretch, I'd say. Only one way to find out if it'll work, though.
Oh, the teleporter down immediately. They are going to that far right high ground here. They collapse immediately onto fight, and that is a first pick right away. Ringahs are in your backline. They are up 6-5 right now. Just looking to regroup here, get some healing, and the teleporter comes in, and that is going to be them pushing on to the Washers. Lamp comes out to keep everybody happy or healthy. Hyper Knight able to take care of that. They are able to fight back with that teleporter, so not taking a whole lot of damage here. But Twist is able to get that window up right away. Dread loses their mech, but Hyper Knight loses their life, so a lot less staying power here. Clutch Caliber with the Flux is actually massive, finds Omni and a couple other members here, maybe with a couple of kills himself. And that is going to be a hold from the defense here unless Laser's able to get win the 1v4.
Clutch Caliber really just saved the Washers from losing the point. It's hard.
Hello.
It's hard to save a team any harder than that. I guess there's a reason Clutch is in this name after all.
I actually do know the reason why Clutch is in his name. And it's not for his play style. They do take the teleport. Ringahs take the teleporter and immediately get Yellow Cello. And Laser just keeps pushing in, getting a couple more with that Reaper ult as well. Jackson Moon able to get Hyper Knight and fight, so it is going to be the cap here for the Ringahs. And they have 5 minutes here to match the Washers on B.
Yeah, double shield's pretty difficult to hold first point on Flatamora with against that SMTV Brawl unless you really have your rotations down. But second point is a lot more doable, but without any ult here, it's going to be hard for him.
The wall comes out from Shinx here. Laser is able to get McNewby. Jackson Moon with the Shatter, but doesn't catch anybody. They do get the kills anyways, though. And it is going to be everybody going down here except for Fight. They are able to catch him out, and that is going to be the cap here. Unless McNewby's able to get a good stall in, and he is not.
Yeah, unfortunately for the Watchers, the Ringahs had all of their ults available after that first point push, and they used so many ults swinging that first fight hold, so they can hold that point again. After losing another game so fast, it was just too late. They didn't have any ults for second point, and it just led to an easy steamroll for the Ringahs.
Yeah, and they have a massive time-based advantage going into this third round here. 127 to 432. Washers have their work cut out for them to, keep a hold in this series here. They're going to need a really fast cap, otherwise they're going to need an excellent defense to send us to map 5.
Strangely enough, we're seeing the double shield come out from the Ringahs once again to start the defense, even though their double shield is very, very difficult for them to hold with, at least on the first point. I understand if they're trying to get ult, so even if they lose first point, they have ult available so they can really hold second, but it kind of seems like a risky strategy when you can just go for a brawl comp or something else to just hold them here on first with such a small time bank.
Yeah, it's interesting that despite, the mid-round switch-ups, both teams looking to come out on the same thing they ran out with in the first round. It's going to be fight with the teleporter here as they make their way to the choke. Lots of spam damage coming in. Here's that teleporter. Takes him to the far high ground here. Hyper Knight kind of away from the team. They're going after the turrets, which does allow the Ringahs to kind of hold this choke here. Lamp comes in from Twist. The damage is starting to pile up, but nobody falling quite yet. Meanwhile, Fight is in their backline just beaming them down, and nobody is even paying attention to them. Hyper Knight does find the kill onto Jackson Moon. Fight able to get Dread. That is the kill starting to go direction of the Washers here. Laser does get Hyper Knight, but it is all Washers here in the kill feed. And that's going to be a first point cap.
After splitting so hard, Hyper Knight really should have been punished there, going without the rest of his team, or they should have lost someone, but after he stabilized that point, there was so much feeling for their Baffin Tekka to get done that she just got window almost instantly. And from there, if you don't have any ults to mirror, that's just going to be an easy fight win for the Washers every time. Now they have a real chance of capping both points. They have a bunch of ults still available.
A couple ults for both teams here, actually, so it could be going either direction still. The Shatter does come in, doesn't catch anybody, but the beat comes out from Yellow Cello, immediately gunned down by the attack visor from Laser yet again. Shinx with the final blow with the turret, though. And it is going to be the Washers trying to reset, but there's only 10 seconds left.
There's just not enough time to reset. They pushed so hard that they didn't clear up the high ground behind. Even if you can get a perfect brawl in the back, if there's a soldier and a Sig just sitting there, they're going to shred you over time.
Yeah, ults coming out from both teams here, but it looks like the Hyper Knight is able to get back to the point just in time. The lamp there to keep him alive, but not for long. The BAP is trying to touch, but that turret is doing a lot of work, and that is going to be the hold here from Ringahs to send us to round 4.
Yeah, the Watchers really have their work cut out for them to actually win this map. What I expect to happen is I can really see a draw happening here, given how hard it is to cap in point B, but if the Ringah's first attack shows us anything, it might be that this match might be over in just a couple minutes.
Yeah, they were able to just completely dominate that B attack during their round. So if they are able to get this first point cap, it could be a match point here for the Ringahs. Washer's going to have to put up an excellent defense on A, or show us something different on B to keep stay in the series.
Looks like the Watchers are rocking up the Winston Rhine comp, which I find very interesting. Going back to the roots of the two strong main tank players running at the same time. Oh, they're running here. Actually, if they do it properly, they can just engage on the Ringah's Sim TP before they can even get through. Kill everybody before they TP through, and this can work, but it's really, really risky. We'll see if it works out.
Yeah, not sure exactly what they're going for here. You would think if that was the plan, they'd be playing up with Hyper Knight, and Clutch Caliber is going to join him now, so it looks like that could very well be in the books here. But that teleporter does go down. They are able to get twists, though, and not all the members were able to get through, so it is a split fight here. Clutch Caliber jumps back and gets 3 and the DMAC onto Dread, which sends them off the map.
Exactly what you want to see happen from the Watchers right there, if you're cheering them on. Have a perfect engagement from both of their main tanks as they kill the TP fast enough to split the enemy team. Clutch Caliber jumps back to finish off kills with the remainder of his team while Hyper Knight holds the front line without going down. And if they can repeat that, then they'll win this map.
Yeah, and we do see the switch, coming in here for the Ringahs. They go to the dive with the Pharmacy. The fight does have that turret, so it could be keeping them at bay a little bit, especially with that interesting angle they have. Laser not able to really get a good angle there. They do take out the turret, and Clutch is diving on them a little bit to keep them at bay. Meanwhile, the Ringahs have completely rotated around. They are able to get a massive ante, and Laser is able to turn it into a couple of kills here. Hyper Knight able to trade on a Jackson Moon. Clutch Caliber pops the Primal Rage, but Omni there with the Res and Jackson Moon, so it is all the members of the Ringahs still here and alive, and that's going to be the first point cap here. Washer's got to hold for 3 minutes here, otherwise it is going to be game over for them.
Yeah. Watchers needed to be ready for a hero swap after that first fight, as even though the comp's perfect into that sim comp, it's usually go dive or pharmacy or something like that. They really just didn't seem to have a plan in place. Ideally, you'd go for an engage early with that comp so they can't spread out and get that many angles on you and poke you out, but alas, here we are. Rocking a Bastion now, but it's going to be hard to hold second point any longer.
And the Dragon Strike comes in, doesn't find anybody, but the lamp is there. Dread able to get the kill on the fight. Shinx with 2 kills. Clutch Caliber trades out for Twist, but it is mostly Ringahs here in the kill feed. Clutch Caliber back on the point, trying to do what he can to keep the cap going, but that is the match. Ringahs take the series 3-1.
Yeah, just too little too late for the Watchers trying to swap their comp up to deal with the dive coming out from the Ringahs.
And this is that flux that Clutch had to keep the Watchers in the series here. Very massive, got almost all the members here, but it was not enough, and the Ringahs still able to take the series.
Laser's just felt different.
Yeah, Laser did quite a bit of work here for their team. It looks like the lobby is being evacuated here, so probably not going to be able to get an interview here uh, with the winning side. Very good work from the Ringahs in their first showing in this tournament here. Complete unknown coming in against a team that we have seen before, and we thought they were going to have a little more for us.
Yeah, I was looking at the watches expecting a much, what's it called, stronger performance, but seemed to be a little bit of coordination issues, but hopefully they get straightened out in future weeks.
Yeah, they certainly do have the capability to, turn things around with that roster. Just very unlucky that the DPS line of Ringos was able to turn a lot of those fights that looked very winnable for them. So certainly a long season, and congratulations to the Ringos here on this first win. Zim, you got any closing words for us here?
Um, yeah. Personally, my match MVP for that game was Laser. Just swung so many fights that really should have been Washer's wins to Ringer's wins just because he wasn't really accounted for and he punished the Washers really hard.
I certainly agree. Lasers, Tac Visors, and Deadeyes were absolutely massive in winning those lost, quote unquote, lost fights, uh, and giving Ringos the advantage despite being down members constantly. But that is gonna do it for this broadcast here. What an exciting weekend it is. We do have probably a couple more matches going on right now since this match started about an hour before the other matches. So stay tuned to the Discord to keep track of those scores. My name is Ben Chinote. On behalf of my partner Zim here, producer Temperance, thank you for watching Inspired Esports. We'll see you next time.